Okay. Sound better now? Can you see the sound now?
Fuck Adrian.
That better? Let me know if that's better. Let me know if that's better.
Let us know if we can hear that.
Fuck it, I can read this. Oh, shit. Yeah, updated some of shit. The drivers got all weird. But it should be fixed now. Let me know if you guys can. You guys can hear it. I see the little thingies moving up and down, so I believe you can see it. You can hear it.
Echo, Rudy.
It's echo, huh? Yeah, that's so. Let me fix that.
You guys hear
Let
me?
me fix that. Sometimes.
Echo Park.
What happened? You couldn't even get the mic to work or what?
Yeah, I was doing something else.
Okay.
I mean, you can hear me, right? It's not good?
Yeah. We hear you.
Yep.
That's because my class just sent. If you need to.
We got an echo, but I'm fixing the echo right now, boys. Give me a second. Why is there an echo?
Echo. Oh.
Yikes. What's going on here? Let me see. Yeah. Because it's getting picked up twice for some reason. Give me a second. I'll clear that up right now. Actually, I could just do this. Can you guys? Yeah, everybody can hear me, right? Actually, Angel or George, say something.
Yo. Check it. Everyone from
Como
the
quieres que te
323.
quiera.
Everybody, if you
Y
fucking
tú
with me.
nunca me has querido.
Everybody from the 323. Everybody,
Alright,
fucking with me.
we're good.
Yo, check it. As I said that, no one had the hand. Oh no, that's it.
We're good. Yeah, we're good. We got it. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, for sure. Just making sure.
Actually, here we go. That's better now. That's how it should work. What up, chat? How you guys doing? This wonderful Monday? I was gonna say Friday. Damn, I'm so fucked with dates, dog. Never mind. I can't even say this on stream. I'm too embarrassed. But yeah, I don't know. Nah, I'll tell you offline. But it's fucking embarrassing. I'm just lost, dog. I don't even know what date it is. I realized today that it was the 15th of March. I thought we were like in the 7th or something like that. Like I didn't realize how. I'm so bad right now.
Because then we were still been celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, and that's the worst part, man. Yeah, that's the worst part about it. There you go. Adrian, I'm about to make you a mod, dog. About to boot Glenn as a mod. Make you a mod.
Fool, Adrian's only here every other week, and on those weeks is when the beer drops.
Yeah, he's here promoting some beer. I mean, I ain't mad at it. I'll be hopping on some shit, try to promote more shit too. So I'm not gonna mad. I'm not gonna hate on that at all. I'm not gonna hate on that at all.
I wouldn't hate on you, but I hate on Adrian.
Who's going to Arizona? I don't know, man. Going back to the gym tomorrow? Listen, I'm high key. I think I'm about to get me a gym membership though, because I can't do this shit at home.
Let's go to Westside.
I'm down.
Oh, Westside Boxing Club.
All right, my bad. I'll lay you guys out though, so you don't want to see me there.
I mean, yeah, as long as you do some bullshit Muay Thai thing, then, you know.
As long as you're on some bullshit Muay Thai shit. You on some shit though. Why let him talk to you like that, Angel?
Right. He's been supposed to be about boxing his entire life, and he doesn't know shit. He always asks his brother about boxing. So Stork's talking. That doesn't faze me. When?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not even trying to foster this kind of energy, dog. I know where that shit leads episodes to. Nah. I don't want to foster this energy, dog.
It will make this a 3-hour pod, dog.
Nah. Yeah, Mas is good. He's celebrating his son's birthday today, so he won't be joining us. But he's using his PTO for today. Unlike Angel, he gave us fair warning. You know what I mean? Angel just kind of took off on us and left us here all alone in the cold for a couple months. So, Mas is good. Mas is good today.
Fool, you alley-ooped that one for me, dog. I had to stay quiet. I was about to shit on him again.
No. Chill, man. I'm not even trying to foster that energy right now, man. I'm trying to have it. Listen.
And Masa's still asleep.
I stopped my stream to come watch you lames. Why you gotta be lames though, dog? You know you love this shit. What up? You gonna come pick up your jersey?
Your stream? What do you stream? Some stupid ass
Rest of the
Mustang
stands.
racing? What the fuck do you do? What's your stream about? Talk to me. I want to know.
Hey, George, you need the other sunglasses. The way you're feeling, you need the other sunglasses on right now, dog. The way you're feeling, you need the other sunglasses right now, dog. You don't need those. You need sunglass George. Sunglass George.
Go up and see that I've been down my steez. Masa okay. That's not my stream. All right, cool. We're caught up.
You caught up? You caught up? Feel better? For sure. For sure. All right, man. We'll get this thing kicked off in a bit. But George, you catch any of the practice? The F1 practice?
Hell yeah. Yo, you and I had a conversation about this shit on Saturday.
Oh, man. So we'll talk about the F1 right now, but let's talk about how I was legit lost for like 10 minutes looking for that conversation on the Discord channel. Because we were using the wrong one. No, I was so high that I really thought I came up with the whole conversation in my head. And I was like, yo, it should never really happen. I was bugging the fuck out, man.
Yo, that should happen to me today when we were talking about something, and then I ended up on the Xbox General or something like that.
Yeah,
and I felt like I was talking to myself. I just looked around, like, what the fuck happened?
That's funny. Hey, but F1 is back. If I could see, if I could stay up a little bit and watch some of the practice.
Hey, talk to me about the green, Rudy. There's something about green in F1. I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't know what's going on. But that shit had me tripping because, again, I was a little high when I was watching practice. And all the cars seem to have green for some reason. I was just like, what's going on here? Oh, man.
He had the same car.
I just didn't know what the hell's going on. It's like, why all the cars have green? Like the Ferrari just looks weird with that, like with that Marlboro logo green. Like I was just like, what the hell's going on here? And then they had like the wind testing paint they do on the McLaren, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why am I seeing green? I thought it was my eyes. I even like rubbed my eyes a little bit.
I thought I was tripping when I saw, was it Ferrari or Red Bull that did the cage?
Red Bull did it, and then a couple of the teams did it.
I was like, oh shit, they forgot to take out a piece of the car, and they're just letting it out there like that. Yeah, I was tripping.
That's funny. Yeah. I had to look up what the hell that's for because it should just look weird. It looked like, like a drying rack. I thought like Verstappen's fucking underwear was getting dried while he was driving or something, though. Because that should look weird. Hey, but Red Bull looks nice though. I think we actually have a. Yeah, but see, like even last year when they came into practice, there was some issues with them, right? Like their back was too. What are you doing, dog? Oh, he's over here just chilling behind me, dog. Yeah, he might bite me, me out of nowhere, dog. Can't have that shit happen live. I'll go viral.
Hell yeah!
You just hop in the bed, huh? This is a rude ass dog, man.
You're not about to tell me shit.
Yeah, for real. We'll just hop in the bed. He's like, all right. But yeah, I'm interested. I think we might actually see like a 2-team series this year. So
Who do you
I'm
think?
excited for it. Red Bull and Mercedes. I think Red Bull and Mercedes actually can go at it, especially with I don't know. We'll see because like Mercedes struggles a little bit, so we'll see how they come about. But either way, I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to that.
To me, I'm thinking about this as a preseason. If I'm Mercedes, I'm okay with struggling right now than looking good in preseason because the Raiders going undefeated in preseason. Then you see what the fuck happens to them in regular season. I mean, that wasn't even
go there though. Why you gotta go there though, dog? Why you gotta go there though? You are feeling some kind of way today, huh? All right, I see you. I see the energy you're bringing today.
Yeah.
I see the energy you're bringing today. I don't like it, but I see it.
I gotta spice up the pot a little bit. Today's gonna be dry.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. But we'll figure it out, like we always do. Every single time I think we're gonna have a hey, thank you, sir. We'll talk about this right now. But they're here. I'm loving them. I'll bring out the other ones so you guys can check it out in a little more detail. They're fire. George got his. I think Jesse got his. Masa got his. The girls got theirs.
Yeah, yep.
So man. They're getting around. They're nice though. I like them. Not gonna lie. I know I did it, and I know I designed them, but I'm kind of liking them. All right, I designed them, and the wife gave me the inspiration for Pollo Campero. You happy now? Yes. Yeah, you got the credit. You got the credit you needed. So when they come sue me, Pollo Campero come sue me, I'm gonna just go ahead and point them to Anna. Like, yep.
Eddie, full disclosure. I told you on Saturday, if I did that stupid shit Saturday, I'm not showing up Sunday. I said full disclosure. I didn't hide anything about it. There was nothing, I was completely straight up. And plus, daylight savings time, I was gonna lose an hour of sleep. This week was
lose an
good.
hour of sleep and have that shit. Yeah, probably not the best way. Probably not the way to go about it. All right, boys, you guys ready? Hop into it.
I forget that my had blonde hair.
Apologetic, unofficial LA Galaxy podcast, hosted by 4 my supporters who bring you their thoughts and views on everything related to LA Galaxy straight from the stands. I am your co-host Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart level-headed George, and the man with the facts, Mas.
Good evening.
What's up? Look at this shit.
What up? How you guys doing? So I ended up getting Angel back, which I'm happy for, not gonna lie. But now Masa decides to take some time off. Like I just fuck, man. Can I just get the same 4 every week in, week out? George, you can't take PTO next week. I'm letting you know right now.
Listen, it might be my time next week.
No. I'm blocking PTO for the next 2 weeks, dog. I'm blocking PTO for the next 2 weeks.
It has nothing to do with Angel, but if you add a 4th to this, Masa immediately just stops talking. When it's 3 people, regardless if it's me, regardless of 8, regardless of who it is, Masa has a voice. Once it's 4 people, it's just that's it.
Nah, you know what's whack too is that he was sick last week, so it definitely feels that way, right? But we had gotten Masa.
Yeah.
We had gotten Masa into a flow of, like, you know, being in the conversation a lot more often. So
3. That was 3.
Listen, I'm gonna test your theory next week, hopefully, because I'm blocking PTO for the next couple of weeks. But let's get going. George, how you doing, Papa?
I'm doing amazing, actually. I went to Cheesecake Factory. You know, the stimmy didn't hit, but they asked me what I wanted. I asked them for the factory. That shit didn't work. So I got a little drunk. So I'm here.
That's what's up. Señor Ángel, ¿cómo se encuentra?
Oh, you know, just drinking
right.
protein shake. I'm right here. I'm fucking buff, dog.
Fucking buff, dog.
Yeah, there it is.
That's how you feeling? You feeling buff? Well, listen, I tend to like these intro segments to take about 10-15 minutes, or to pretend like we have a longer show than we do. Y'all really suck for that one today.
Well, let's talk about Saturday. We got plenty of fucking content
there.
Just so y'all know, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I feel good.
I asked you. You didn't answer me. So.
All right, but let's get it going. If you guys didn't tune in, you guys get a chance to see it later on, because I know the Knack Boos.
Not the Knack Boys.
It's not the Knack Boys. The Knack Boos.
Margin Boos.
Yikes! All right, I'm gonna start the show all over again. I'm gonna ask you how you doing again. You guys come up with a story. All right, let's do it. No, I'm just kidding. We did not so hot ones with the Knack News yesterday. Right, a podcast, a weird podcast, a
Saturday.
podcast that maybe Saturday. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what days I'm in, though. I've been in this house for far too long. I get lost. But on Saturday we met up with the Knack Boys, and we did a podcast. Not necessarily the way we usually do podcasts, because we enjoyed, or maybe not enjoyed. Maybe enjoyed, maybe not the right word. But we had some spicy wings and got asked some Galaxy questions in between. Fun time. I know they had a stream, but if you didn't catch a stream, I know they recorded it and going to put it up with better audio. But until then, Angel, talk to me about Saturday night's experience for you. How was it through the lens of Angel?
You know what? You guys know this, right? I don't eat spicy food. I like spicy food. I can't handle it. Right? I'm terrible at it. Trash. Like, never had sriracha before, you know.
That's
so
crazy
the whole wing experience to me, never had tasted sriracha before. It's like, all right, you know, fuck it. You know, the homies gonna get together. I'll fucking do it. You know, I'm not gonna be the one guy to be like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm like, fuck it, I know, bitch. So I joined. You know, I was there. I didn't know what to expect. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect from that first bite from the sriracha. I was like, I didn't know how to.
How's sriracha, though?
Don't have explanation.
Do you like it?
Yeah, you know what? I 1
Uh-huh.
to 5. I enjoyed. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
So, you know, because it was a good kick. You know, I wasn't on fire. I wasn't. You know, I was good. I mean, I enjoy spicy food. I just can't handle it. Right. I'm a bitch for it. So that's the problem. But no, I enjoyed it. Like, you know, 1 through 5 were cool. It was like, oh my god, I got this easy money. You know, easy money. You know, I'll be fine. Fuck, man. The 6th one, when we took the 6th one, I'm like, all right, it's getting a little serious now. You know, because the 6th one had
the curry one.
I think that was the curry one. No, I think it was the 7th one, right? Wasn't it the curry one?
No,
The 7th one was spicy. The one was like, all right, this shit's hot, but it had a flavor. Like, it was flavorful. Like, you know what? I at least enjoyed lighting my mouth on fire. Right? Problem was that last one, man. That 6th one. I don't know. I think it might have been George. Because you were across from me, right, George? Yeah, so you were the one that said it best. Yeah. So he's like, this is all fire, no flavor. You can't, like, why? I don't understand how. That's my issue with spicy food, right? The people are like, oh, I can handle so much spice. Like, this shit's spicy. It doesn't make sense to me. You're paying your fucking money for your food to enjoy your motherfucking food.
Let it out. In
case, go to the fucking store and just buy one fucking bottle of the hottest shit they have in your house. What's the point? Like, it's stupid. Like, it's the dumbest shit I've ever done. Not the dumbest shit I've ever done in my life, but it's one of the dumbest shit for sure I've done as a collective with you guys. I don't understand. When the right mind says, hey, I'm gonna make this hot sauce. What flavor? I'm just gonna light some motherfuckers on fire.
Because dumbass like us get it.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, exactly. Right. And we are on their pod. They bought that shit facts. Like, my biggest thing is like Chewy, bro. Like, Chewy, I get he's trying to be macho. I'm Mexican. I can eat spicy food, whatever. Fuck that. We all know. We all saw through his face.
Afraid because usually every time that I wake up, I make my espresso and I drink it, and usually by then, like, my stomach starts like, oh, okay, it's time to poop. I didn't poop the next day until like 1 p.m. So I was afraid. I was like, oh, this shit fucked me up.
Okay.
I was like, nope. My poop is usually, by 9 a.m. you're straight. By 9 a.m. like scheduled.
Yeah.
And no, it didn't come out, and I'm like, oh, that's when I was getting afraid. I was getting scared. So when my poop finally started like, oh, okay, it's time. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. And I started on the way over there, like I was walking to the restaurant. I'm like, oh, please don't burn, please. I was like, myself,
please. Yeah. No. Well, see, you're lucky. And then in the night, I was sleepy. I was, I don't know if so Saturday night, and Friday night. I was sleepy. Like, I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. I was just really uncomfortable.
Saturday.
Oh, it wasn't. Well, Friday night and the Saturday night, and then it wasn't until Sunday morning that I had the decent one. No, because it was So sorry. So it wasn't until today in the morning, and I'm good.
Yeah, today I had like 2 shits.
Are we on the shit already?
Yeah, we're back. We're We're streaming. We're live. They've been hearing you for a little bit.
No, I'm good.
Today
all right.
like 2 shits.
Oh yeah, I think we're back on. I think they heard a poop story.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah. But I'm trying to fix the
all right, for sure.
The layout real quick. But we're back. They're hearing it.
Yeah,
Angel, kill your audio on the YouTube. Do you were the one that had it on? I'm sorry, boys. That's on me. My computer just crashed. I said, nope, I ain't having this, and it crashed. But we're back. Where were we? Shit stories about that. All right.
Can't say anything else until he confirms.
Wait, can you guys not hear me?
Kill your audio.
Rude, Angel, take off your YouTube. Lower the volume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys? Angel, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Angel?
Angel, can you hear Rudy?
No, I cannot.
No, you said you can't.
What the hell's going on here? So this would mute me and to unmute me. I'm sorry, everybody in the chat.
Can you right click, mute Rudy and then unmute him?
Because I have no idea what's going on now.
Speak, Rudy.
Yo. Can you hear me, Angel?
Oh, yo. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, let's get back into it. My bad. All right, so Angel.
I can't see your face though.
No, because I'm not sharing my camera. Here, let me share that real quick. OBS camera. OBS virtual camera. OBS camera. There it is. Oh, I messed it all up again. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna figure this out one day. I promise. All right. So Angel. Actually, no. So you had a hard time after 6. George, tell me about yours, though. Tell me how you felt.
Angel, we were talking about our shit, but I'm gonna kind of dig a little at him. So, from my perspective, once we got to the 5th ring, I started looking around. I'm like, cool, honor system. Everyone's eating it, and I looked in front of me, and Angel has a glove on because I shared a glove because obviously smart, you don't want to fucking eat this shit. And we're all so at this point we're all adding our own dab to the wing. And I see Angel playing with the wing. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? So I was like, I'm tripping. And then I look, I'm like, oh, there's no hot sauce. Hold on, no. This is my turn. It's my turn. So I look at it and he eats it. And then he's like, nah, there's nothing. And in my mouth, I'm like, no, there's a little kick in here. There has to be one. So the next one I call him out. I was like, hey, stop rubbing your shit. Do this and do it. He's like, no. And then Rudy, you could be a witness to this. After I called him out, didn't something happen to the wing every time? As far as the wing falling to the floor,
plate,
the wing falling on the plate, the fucking chili going all over the place. After that happened, I started adding the hot sauce bit. Immediately the sweat sweat and going everywhere. And I was like, all right, you see, I think he gypped us for like 2 wings, but that's fine because those wings weren't that spicy. But the fact for him to say like, oh no, it's not that spicy, I think it might have been the one after the curry. So he started playing with the wing, smart man. I can't take it away.
Somebody got caught.
That's the thing. He got caught.
That's not at all how.
And then he's like,
right,
and then he's like, oh yeah, you're right. I could see because the glove and all that. I was like, no, let me add that shit to the wing now.
Man, that shit straight up, right? Like,
hold up. But to add to what Angel said, the last 2 is just it's. I don't understand how you could be a fan of hot sauce and enjoy that. Because at that point, you're not even enjoying your food, not because it's too spicy. Sure, people could enjoy it, but even Masa, that's a big spicy foods guy, that said the second to last one tasted like cigarette butts. Like, it's not good. For the most part, all the ones that we tried had a tangy flavor, had a curry flavor, had something to like, okay, it's good, and then it's hot. The last 2 were just not good.
Yeah, so similar, right? Like I enjoyed all of them up to the last one. The last one is the only one I didn't like because I felt that one definitely what you're saying, where it was just spicy to be spicy, had no flavor to it. And also the last one is the only one that got under my tongue, and that's what that one beat me. But it's crazy. Oh, here let me be straight up, right? Like I did my research on what works best with spicy food and all that. So I was ready, man. I found some gloves in the car, so I had the gloves. I got Diet Coke, right? Diet Coke because it's super sweet and it's supposed to work somehow, some way, because of the sweetness. It counters the bitterness and it nullifies both of them. And then lime to kind of scrape the molecule, the spicy molecules out of your tongue. So I had both of them. So I didn't use them until the last one because the last one is the only one I felt like, oh, there you are, bitch. Right? That was the only one that hit me. And it's funny too because like the table cleared out, except for shout out Masa, shout out Brian over at Neck News because those are the only ones that who I mean, we're the only ones who actually finished the pod at the end because that shit got spicy. And I won't lie, that shit was spicy. But overall, it was fun. So I want to give a big shout out to the Net Boys for considering us, to doing that with us, and also First to Five who joined us and was at the spot. It was a cool little spot, we got to hang out with everybody for a little bit, and that was fun. So again, big shout out to them over there.
Besties.
Yeah, Pod BFFs. We'll share the link with when they post up the actual video because I know some of the audio wasn't great on the stream. We were in a big place, but we had some microphones set up across the table, so you should have better audio when they release the non-live stream version of it. And that show was fun, so you should check that out. Definitely share the link when that's out. But yeah, that was fun. That was Saturday. So now let's talk about the little bit of G's news that we have because we don't have much. So I can wrap the whole thing up with this one in one sentence, right? Is Galaxy played at Columbus in San Diego apparently in a preseason match that resulted in a 1-1 tie with the goal for the Galaxy coming from Augie Williams. Let me start up with this. Have you guys heard?
It wasn't G2?
No, it was the first team.
Yeah, you seen. I think it was Subak and Depew are the only ones that we've seen on pictures. I think. Don't quote me on that, but so whether it was G2 or not, I know the team went out to San Diego, so I'm assuming it's the first team. But have you guys heard anything else other than this, like from your collective resources?
Signed Augie Williams to DP contract. That's it. That's all I read.
Yeah. I haven't heard much of it, which is which sucks, right? Because obviously we would like to know more details, but I haven't heard much other than Augie scoring the goal. Hey, did you hear anything else?
With Jordan, as fuck. DP slot automatically.
Which listen, straight up, like I'm kind of happy that he scored for us, right? I know last week we talked a little bit about the interview that I think Danger TRL on Discord sent over, where he was talking about some big news and potentially multiple offers coming for him. So for him to score with the G's, it has to bode well for us. So I guess it's the one thing we can take out from there because nothing else came out of it, like no other news. So I'm sure that's the only thing we got to go with. But yeah, so we got game one of the preseason down with a tie 1-1. No more information other than that since they didn't share anything else. Moving on. So a few weeks ago we got Julian to Man City. Was it Man City? Who? Oh no, it was Tottenham.
Juve.
No, a couple weeks ago it was Tottenham, right?
Both Juve and Tottenham, no?
I got Juve.
So I remember being Tottenham. I remember being an EPL team, but this week we got supposedly he's one of 4 players that Juve is trying to come after in the summer. What do you guys think to a move to Italy for Julian?
It's not good for us. It's not. How do I phrase this? It's great for him. At the moment, it's not good for us because we're reconstructing a team, but it's good for the Galaxy to build that bridge into Europe. So there's a lot of parts to it on my end. Obviously, you don't want to lose at this point. I want to say a vital piece to the G's because he's, for as far as I know, was starting right back for us, and whoever we got after him was just a point that we put in whenever he gets called up or whenever duties come along. But if it were to happen, I'd rather it happen sooner than later so we could actually figure something out. But at the end of the day, it's good for him. It's not going to be good for us because we have to reconstruct once again, but it also bridges the gap for the Galaxy to start selling into Europe. So things that we've talked about on this pod as far as players coming in and us being that market that to go in, then I'm good with it.
Also, Angel, like we talked a little bit about it yesterday about CR. Would that cement that relationship?
I don't want to say tinfoil hat, right? Because that's Eddie's thing, right? On his pod, and I think I've heard George say it too.
George, yep.
I'm not gonna say, hey, tinfoil hat shit, right? But I mean, listen, if you want that solid relationship and say, hey, look, we're getting Cristiano Ronaldo. I know it's not gonna be the same thing. We'll send Julian that way. Let's figure something out. That would be fucking amazing. And I understand that we'd be losing a piece in Julian Araujo, but listen, bottom line is we're gonna lose him within the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. Right? So if we can do it with some type of, maybe it's like, hey, it's not a guarantee that Ronaldo's gonna come in the next 5 months, but we're gonna sell him to you, as soon as in the summer, right when the window's over, and he's gonna come to you right after the Euros. Listen, obviously we can go into detail with that, right? Like, okay, well, do we want to wait as Galaxy fans, until after the Euros, because summer and all that shit, that we can go down that rabbit hole, right? In terms of a move, if it's that, amazing. I think it's going to be that. Probably not. So what that means for Araujo himself, listen, this is the Italians, right? The Italian league is known for their defensive style. Like, that's one of their things, right? Whether it's the national team or even the styles that they play, they're physical, maybe not as pretty and fun to watch, but if you're Araujo, that's what you need. We're getting coached by, Andrea Pirlo and his staff, and, playing against other top strikers, that are very physical. That's good for him. I think it's a probably better move for him to go to Tottenham. Not because, fuck Tottenham and, 2-1 Arsenal, but
London is red.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Stupid.
Stupid. But, it's, if that's the case, I mean, it also depends, right, on what you want to do with your style. Because if you go to Tottenham, it's going to be a faster pace. It's going to be, there's different elements to it, right? His play is going to be different. It's going to develop differently if you're in the Italian league as opposed to if you're in the in the English Premier League. It's just, style is different. It just really is. So at the end of the day, it's a win for him. If we get anything out of it, it's definitely a plus for us because we are going to lose him within the next 2-3 years. If it's not Juve, if it's not Tottenham, it's going to be someone else. And those are 2 high-profile teams. Whether you hate Tottenham or not, the fact is that they were in Champions League 2 years ago. So they're a good team now, right? It's not the pushover Tottenham they used to be. So that's good for him. Now, tinfoil hat, Cristiano Ronaldo. Me, I say it's an equal swap if you ask me, but that's my opinion.
Listen, so when the president of Juve comes out and said that Ronaldo was not the good signing for them, listen, tinfoil hat. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? So it's that, right? I think there is something to like forming a relationship. I know Francisco Reyes saying I think Cristiano has 100% say in where he goes. Don't think a positive relationship between us and Juve makes a difference. I think it does because it opens up the channel of communication. Does it hold as much weight as we want it to? Probably not. But I think there's something to having a relationship there. But besides that, right? To what Angel was saying, I think it's a good move for Julian because I always thought that maybe a move to Serie A or even to the Netherlands would be like a really good place because the leagues are a little bit more forgiving to mistakes out wide, but also like they suit him because of his pace, right? Like the Italian league is physical and it is focused a lot on defense, but players with pace definitely exploit that league, right? I think I'll say the same for the Netherlands, right? The Dutch league is both the same, where like they have great, good football. They're defensive minded, or at least the Italian league is defensive minded. At least or we're accustomed to, but having speed is definitely an exploit for those leagues. So I think it fits him, right? And it fits him and kind of catapults him into a position where if he performs, his career could really take off, like starting off in Italy or in the Dutch league, in my opinion. So I think
what you're saying, but I want him to go to a league that has a lot of media presence, and I don't think the Dutch league does that. And I think the Dutch league would do that if he becomes great, which is far and few in between. You just don't know at this point. So going to a team like Juve, and then imagine the name of Ronaldo coming in after. Now the spotlight is a little bit more on Julian, which then helps out the Galaxy in the future. Because if we do the Netherlands and say he plays all right and he has a decent career, I doubt we hear a lot about that compared to an EPL team, compared to a Juve, compared to a Tottenham. So I get what you're saying, but I'd much rather him go to a team that has that media presence.
Nah, but see, like the thing about him going to like a Dutch league, it wouldn't be like where he's gonna end up at, right? It's the feeder league, because the Dutch league, for what you're right, I don't think it has the media attention. It's not broadcast in the States as much, so we don't see it as much. But it is a feeder league. Like a lot of big clubs go into Ajax, specifically PSV, and buy from them, right? Because they're usually cheaper side than going to like La Liga or going to even Serie A now. So I
feel that the Dutch league could get the credit for it though, and that's kind of what I don't want.
I'm okay with it. Listen, he'll come out of the piece
though for Julian. Has he decided if he's choosing the U.S. national team or not?
I think he went with the U.S.
Yep.
Okay. You're in that right back role. Like you know who else he's competing with, right? For that right back role, there's a few people. The one that comes to mind immediately is Sergiño Dest. Right?
Not Yedlin?
No, not Yedlin. Yedlin went no.
Yeah, Yedlin's down the pecking order. Is Dest for sure?
Listen, Sergiño, exactly. What other club right now has that power, or at least the name, right, to say, hey, you're in AZ Alkmaar, you're in fucking Feyenoord, you're in Ajax, or are you in Juventus? It's the name, just the name alone is gonna make people consider, right? If you're Belhart, right? This Belhart is the coach, right, for the U.S. national team.
Yeah.
You're considering that, right? Yeah, you're considering like shit. Okay, this dude's playing for Juventus, whereas this dude's playing for Barcelona, and it's the philosophy is defensively, historically, the Juventus side is gonna be the better side, right? So should I go with what he's learned at Juventus, or should I go with Sergiño Dest? Who's gonna be more of my right wing back, as opposed to maybe Julian not necessarily playing right wing back, more of a typical right back. It's interesting. But what I'm getting at is that for Julian Araujo, it's not only a good for club move, but it's also a good U.S. men's national team move should he decide to go U.S. men's national team.
Right. Listen, at the same time though, right? Like you have like, and again, I'm gonna stop after this because I don't like going too deep into U.S. men's national team. But like you have McKennie in Juve, right? But McKennie is also not getting the minutes he was getting in Germany. He has his minutes. He has had some impact because he's come in and scored some goals, but he's not the out and out starter like he was in Germany, right? Whereas that's somehow I don't think this is that dope as a right back, but he's the out and out starter in Barcelona, right? Do we think Julian's gonna be the out and out starter in Juventus? I can't take because I don't watch Serie. I don't watch much Serie A, so I don't know who he's competing for. But it is a bigger club who's going to demand a lot more than some of those clubs. Either way, though, similar to what the chat is saying. Actually, Glenn Utuan says if we want him to be the best RB defender in the world that he can be, the summer move sounds like the right time for him, and I agree. I think if he makes a move in the summer, it's proper timing. He got some. He got like a season and a half, and it'll be like half a season for this year, and then he makes a move. Wish him the best. Also means that we got to be on the lookout for a real starting right back, because I think all the intentions are for Fisher O'Neill to be like the sub or the guy who comes in when Julian's not here.
We can still make the sell, right? And he just with the clause like, hey, he'll be there in when the Galaxy season's over. After they win MLS Cup, right? He'll be there in the winter. That's a possibility. You can do that.
Yeah, you could. How much? I don't know. That's the move, though, right? Like they want to pick him up in the summer to see what he has during the summer and for the fall league. All right, but that's enough for him. It's interesting though. Like it's really dope to see Julian getting looked at or being mentioned so often. It's a good product. Similar to him, maybe not similar to him. Actually, I don't know why he said that. But Efra chose Mexico over the U.S. Again, I don't want to go too deep into the national teams, but any thoughts on that? Like, do you think it was the right choice? Do you think one way or the other?
I didn't think he had a bad choice, to be honest with you. Whatever you felt comfortable with. I'm not really fully invested in international like that, especially when it comes to U.S. Mexico. I try to not to touch that, but I'm not mad at him. It's an 18-year-old kid that wants to feel comfortable. Listen, if he didn't feel comfortable and he chose the U.S., I wouldn't want him.
Yeah, right. Listen, it's something, right? Because, and again, this has to partly do a lot with me not following a lot of national team news for either Mexico or the United States. But the United States have been marketing, like this week, especially all the youth coming up and the talent that's coming up. The future is now, and all that slogan they've been doing. Which, if I'm a young player, I kind of want to be competing with those people because they don't have a name established in the international scene, right? Whereas I see Mexico squad, and they have a lot more established first team players in their squad, right? I know they're choosing for the Olympic qualifiers, but the goal is the main team, I assume, right? So like I just assume you want to be competing for spots in with the younger players, because the U.S. national team, the first team is made by a lot of these kids who are pretty young, right? Maybe not 17 years old, but in the early 20s, mid 20s max. I just thought that was interesting, but I don't really.
But that's a choice for him, and then that's the type of competitor he might be or might not be. And also, you have to look at the fact that on the first team in the Galaxy, he has a veteran in Jonah, a veteran in Chicha that he might pick their brain, and that there might be scouting for their national team as well. Who does he have in the Galaxy? He has Julian that is barely getting his feet wet, and Sebastian Lletget. You get me? So I mean, when I have those two on one side and these two on that side, I might not be seeing the bigger picture of, I might be able to compete in the U.S. It's a young and up-and-coming squad. I have Jonathan Dos Santos and Chicharito in my ear saying, pick Mexico, because, this is – you just don't know what they're telling him. But, I mean, if you have those two in front of me, I'm going to go with Mexico too, especially if those two type of players are talking to me.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad move. I just found it interesting, right? At the same time, when you bring that up, like I read an article, and I didn't even post the notes because I didn't think it was worth it. But I did read an article that Tata's pretty much froze Chicha out of the squad, or like where he's not looking at him as a potential option for a striker. I can't say I blame him, right? You can't say you blame him at all.
I wouldn't consider him either after last season.
Yeah, exactly, right. I can't say I blame him because he's done absolutely nothing over the last year to say, hey, you should be someday looked at, right? It's just interesting, but we have that. Here, let me read a couple of things here. Food Stamp Pop says he chooses Mexico. He can still do a one-time switch after since he's already played with them. If you would choose in the US, he wouldn't be able to pull a switch later. Interesting. Again, that's from the chat. And I'm gonna ask one question here from the chat from Logan Jones. Going back just a little bit for Julian. I know we've touched on this. I mean George and myself. But Angel says you haven't been for a while. For Julian, are we doing 10 mil or in the 10 mil? Forget about Ronaldo for a second. If you just a straight up purchase, which thing the price tag should be?
I don't think Juventus is going to go over 10 million for the guy, and I don't think anyone will pay over 10 million for Julian. I understand that.
Listen to that, Masa.
We rate him highly. Yeah, we rate him highly as Galaxy fans, but we also need to have some realization that we are not the only club in the world, and there are so many other teams that actually have been better than us over the last 6 years that are not only producing talent like Julian Araujo, they're producing better talent. And people get butthurt about that's fine, get butthurt, but we also have to understand this is still the LA Galaxy. We are not producing world-class players. We haven't. You know what? FC Dallas does a better job at doing that than we do right now. Producing, caliber that probably belongs in like some Juventus and such, right? Until we start seeing that, and maybe Julian is going to be the guy. Maybe we sell him for 11 million and I'll bite it. That's fine. I'll bite the bullet. It's a good bullet to bite. Fuck it. It's good for us. It's amazing. I just don't see where the logic is right now in current place in time and what the guy has been able to sell across anywhere really that's going to say, hey, this guy is worth $10 fucking million or over $10 million. I'm not saying he's not worth that. I'm just saying, think of how many other teams are selling players like Araujo.
In this market too, right? In this COVID market as well.
In this market, yeah, that are not going for 10 million. And you know what? Maybe we're talking pre-COVID. There you go. I probably say that.
So give me an amount you think it's fair to sell Julian right now or in the summer.
I mean, I don't know. I've had to look at numbers, but fuck, I don't know. I think something would sound right. Maybe 3-4 million. I think that probably sounds right, but I'm not the expert when it comes to transfer market. Yeah. I never have been, right? So I don't know, but the thought of 10 million sounds ridiculous to me when we were complaining about trying to get Pavon for 20 million and they were saying that 10 million is okay. Yeah. Logically doesn't make sense to me. And I don't give a fuck if I lost Chris.
I think okay. I think I'm in the same boat there, and I think we're pretty consistent with that. Where do we rate him at 10 million? Probably, right? For our club, we probably rate him. But does the rest of the world rate him for that price? Probably not, right? Because he's still just potential. So I think I ended up saying closer to 5 million. I don't think we hit 10 million. I know Masa was definitely stuck on the 10 million, but by no means are we. Do we know the economics of the game like that? So take that with a grain of salt. All right, let's move on. Actually,
I will say that whatever we sell him for, it's going to be the right thing because DTK has shown that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the transfer, I mean, even what happened with the guys that came before him, with Ulysses Giannis and who was the other one that he was also trying to bring back? Can't remember his name. Was he the one in German? I forget. But the point is, he understands hey, these guys that for cheap or whatever, like we need to bring him back, right? He understands these things. Whatever we end up selling Araujo for, I'm not gonna be mad at it. I'm not gonna be mad at it.
I have the same feeling where I think they'll do right and get a decent amount for him. All right. So last week, like literally the day after our pod, they announced Samuel Genser. I don't want to go too deep into him because we've talked about him for 2 weeks in a row, but good signing, no? Like we're all good. Like we're happy they signed him. TAM deal, 3 years, with a year option. Yeah, sounds good, no?
Yep.
Dope. All right, let's talk about what happened? Your podcasting? Yeah, I just kind of want to mention it because I know we talked about it for 2 weeks in a row. I don't want to get deep into him again, so I don't want to get deep into him. Okay. LA Galaxy. We got some real regular season games announced. Sunday, April 18th, we will be in Miami finally. Angel, you were there last year and no game. So it seems like if everything stays on track, we will have a game on April 18th, 2021 at 12 p.m. Pacific against Inter Miami at Miami, getting played over ABC and ESPN Deportes. You guys excited for this? You think this is a good way to kind of match up for our first match of the season?
I think MLS just said, "Fuck it, we didn't play last season. Here's the same schedule from last season."
No need to change anything. We got it.
Yeah.
It's interesting, right?
I mean, it makes it. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you. I was gonna kind of hand it off to you.
I was just thinking, but I mean, Becca made that change right in the offseason where he acquired the other coach. What's his face? The English coach. The English coach, right? I don't remember his fucking name anymore. Yeah, whatever his name is. You think about that? He's basically rebuilding his team I get that there's still a core there, and even then, Miami last year, we're not sure what they were going to be with everything that happened. They really didn't create anything, didn't establish anything. When you really think about it, it's a new coach with a new team that still has to find what its identity is going to be. It's the same thing for the Galaxy, right? It's new coach. There's still going to be several players coming in. Players have been gone. We don't know what our identity is going to be. So I think it's a tempo setter. If you're the Galaxy, if you can come to Miami and take advantage of Miami's issues, I think that's good for us, because you add a little confidence to these guys. Like, hey, we were able to win this game. We're still missing some pieces. Whatever it is, right? I think it's gonna be a confidence setter for whoever wins that game. But it's still the MLS. That game could mean nothing in the day. Like Chris says, I lost Angel again. Yeah, and then because it's true, right? But, I mean, it's true. But it's I think it's very important the Galaxy take it very seriously. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, they're still missing players or whatever. No, you gotta take advantage, because I think could end up being a lot better. Miami can be better down the line, and beating them down the line for I guess power points or whatever you call it, that can be big. That can be massive.
Yeah, and it's also like it's one of those matches that I think MLS wants to squeeze as much as they can out of it. Right, it's a marquee matchup. It's the storylines right themselves, right? Beckham's MLS club versus Beckham's ownership club. Like
I think that's what it is most of the
time. Yeah, it's a lot of headlines. I get it. I get why that's one of the opening games. Yeah, we'll go into it and kind of analyze what we think of this game closer to when the game comes around in a couple of weeks, more like a month, because it's literally a month and 3 days away. So we'll analyze it later. I just kind of wanted to bring it out. And I'm okay with it. It's I'm sure they want to make it a marquee matchup, one of the matchups they highlight all the time. And as long as both teams are decent, right? Because if you matched them up last year, it would have been Shesho, would have been who's the worst. But as long as both teams are decent, I think it'll be a good showing. Following that week on April 25th, 2:30 p.m., LA Galaxy versus New York Red Bulls at the Dignity. We finally get a home game. We have the date, April 25th. So I can circle that in your calendars. Whether you're watching it at home or you're watching it at the stadium, we got a game. 2:30 p.m. though. I don't know about the time. What do you guys think of our opening game versus Red Bulls? Like here's my thing, right?
I don't know what to think right now. I mean, go ahead.
Here's my thing. Like last home opener, the Victoria Block Grand Opening didn't go so well for us. And I'm what up?
Why is that?
Because we took a fat L. I'm a low key. I mean, it's the Rebels, right? Rebels, they find a way to kind of reinvent themselves every year, no matter the circumstances. They kind of reinvent themselves and always are a decent team. What do you guys think about this, Angel? What do you think about this?
Bad, bro. You hit it. I don't even know what to say about the Red Bulls, because I don't even know what's going on with their team right now. I haven't kept up with it. I don't know anything about the Red Bulls right now. That could be like, I can ask, we could reach out to some of the guys from New York, right? That we met that one time. And they'll probably tell me, oh, this team's going to be shit, whatever. The Red Bulls have been able to figure it out, even after selling pieces or whatever. So I don't even know what to think. I think we're going to end up taking a no just because it's the Red Bulls. Because it's the Red Bulls.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting because it would be the first game. It would be the first game with fans in the stadium since the home opener last year, right? George, you think these boys come out here again? We'll go into a lot deeper and talk about the actual game. But you think there'd be some kind of extra energy because it is going to be a first game with fans since the last home opener?
Yeah. I think Galaxy go. Obviously, we'll get more into it, but my off the bat thing, I think we're going to be 2-0 going into after this game.
2-0. Let's go.
2-0.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm the first to shit on the team.
What up?
I'm the first to shit on this team, but I think we're going 2-0. And I think the fact that we don't know much about New York, I feel New York's always been like the East Coast Houston to us. We don't know we know what's going to happen, or we don't know what's going to happen, and usually we're on the shorter end of the stick when we play these type of teams. So, but I have a good feeling about the Galaxy. Listen,
yeah,
Augie Williams is going to score 3 against New York, and we're in there.
Listen, it's funny you say that because it's the same. I can't explain why I have a good feeling over the G's. right? Because we haven't seen anything.
I mean, you've been having a good feeling about the Jesus start of every season for the last 5 seasons.
No, but it's different though, right? I honestly think it's different though, right? Like because there's again, we haven't seen them in the field, but there's certain things, certain movement in the club that it's hard for me to believe that we're not heading in the right direction. Right, so I have a good feeling on it, but I don't know. Again, we'll definitely touch up on these games closer to actual game day, closer to when we're having regular podcasts and not just trying to dig the interwebs for fucking any kind of Galaxy news. So we'll definitely go back and
so one
touch
thing
on these
that's
again.
really cool, I guess that we could address is they're both going to be nationally televised, right?
Yep. One is on ABC and the other one is on FS1. Fox Deportes and ESPN Deportes in Spanish.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's like it's nationally televised, right? So that's a big deal on ESPN Deportes on Spanish, FS1, another channel that gets ratings. So both of them are good matches. Again, like the Inter Miami, it sells itself just on headlines, and LA versus New York. Right, you don't have to write much for that either. Like it sells itself in any kind of sport. So. Looking forward to that, and just like Manny said, I hope he's wrong, but he says, "Damn, we waited a whole year,
different.
Waited a whole year to take an L live again." You're right, man. Also, all right. So that's pretty much it. I think I caught you up with everything happening over the last week. If we missed anything, that's because we do a shit job of researching. But Corner of the Galaxy had an article that I thought was really dope. It's analysis of Vanny's defense, right? And it's interesting, because there's parts in there where it talks about how Vanny's team is not necessarily one of the top teams in tackles, but it does turn around when it comes to interceptions, and that speaks on positioning, right? Like players, his team really having that positioning on lock, where it's not necessarily tackles, but just reading the play and intercepting the balls. It has a lot. It talks about how they're up more. The furthest up players are the ones doing a lot of tackling as well and getting a lot of possession. That means a high press, and how the center, the midfield block, kind of lays back a little bit, while the front three or the front players press, the middle block kind of stays, and then defense kind of stays behind them, just kind of really holding position while the front three attack and press. That being said, let me go through so what I want to talk about is how do we see this? Can the team accomplish this?
Listen,
what do we have?
Were to happen, Vanny is the greatest coach of all time, just because we've shitted on this team for the last 2 to 3 years that we ball watch. And this is the complete opposite of ball watching. No, we're adding to the ball watching, because obviously you need to see where the play's at, but it's important to know where your player's at. In order to break up a play, if we're saying that Vanny's teams are big on interception, we need to understand that we got to get away from this ball watching, which is something that we've been notorious for. On every game that we've previewed on the tailgate, we talked about watch the players from behind you, because they ball watch, they always beat us. So if Vanny could do this, not only am I completely sold if I start seeing this the first 2 games that he's got it into the players and the system's getting it in, but it's a day and night change.
Yeah, 100%. And so what I want to get into, and Angel, if you have comments on just what I said initially, go ahead and I'll
I do, man. I think George hit it, and that's massive to me, because listen, we talked about this for years now, right? And I didn't pay attention to whatever analysis you gave me from COG, right? I just thought about Daniel Steres. Daniel Steres' soccer IQ defensively is hot ass. It's that hot sauce that we had on Saturday. It's useless. It's stupid for what? Like he has no soccer IQ, and that's the issue. Like, and Greg Vanny's going to be the best coach, the best teacher. If we end up starting with a combination that includes Daniel Steres and he ends up actually being good, right? Listen, we know people has good soccer IQ. We know that. I understand that he hasn't been what we hoped to be, but that could also be the players he was around. This is Stefelster. His issue is soccer IQ. He lacked it, right? That's why he was always caught off guard. If we are that, listen, George hit it, man. Vanny, greatest coach of all time, because he actually taught these guys some basic ass soccer defensive IQ.
Listen, so part of what you said, I'm gonna argue because I remember Steris 2 years ago surprised the fuck out of me, and it wasn't because he was faster, it wasn't because he was stronger, it was because he read a lot more plays. So I disagree with you when you say his IQ is trash. I think he plays like trash a lot more often than we want him to, but I think if with the right talking to the right coaching, he could figure that out. So I'll argue that. Although I'm not saying that I want Stairs to be one of my starting center backs.
You just like coaching exactly. Yeah. If he can actually instill in that, then we'll see, right? But that's why.
So we'll see. So the reason I brought this up is because I want to take a look at our roster. Right, our roster still has a lot of holes in it. It still has a lot of players to come in, but I want to start looking at a roster right now and start thinking if we could do this, right? If we could have an attacking 3 or attacking 2, whatever it is, because we're not sure even in the formation right now. But our attacking players, do we have the players to go out there and press and try to win the ball back early? Do we have the midfield to hold shape and intercept passes, and do we have the defense to continue that? Let's start off in the back. Right, in the back we have 9 defenders currently on the roster, with Danilo Costa, Julian Depew, Fercanis, can say his name, Fisher O'Neill, Pipo Gonzalez, Jalen Neal, Starius, Villafania, and Williams. Right off the bat, I think we could go ahead and say we have Julian and Villafania out wide, right, both right back and left back. Yeah. And then it's really a coin flip or a toss up between who our center backs are, right? Depew, Pipo, Starius, and I want to say Derek Williams are definitely in.
Listen, it's got to be Derek Williams. We didn't go out of our way to get this guy, the international, Irish international, for him not to be the starting center back.
Well, the thing is that he's not going to, from what we have read, at least from initial reports, is that he's not going to be ready until mid to late April, right? So we have to really see how game fit he is, because it's the pre situation all over again, right? It's the pre situation over again. Like he was just in there to take care of people, and he ended up sticking with the position for most of the season. So, but I think it's in between those 4. I know we have Jalen Neal, we have Rakan in there, but I think it's in between those 4 who are going to be our 2 center backs, right? So let's start off there, and let's start off with I think the highest skilled, even though maybe not proven or not shown. And I'll go ahead and throw in Derek Williams and Pipo Gonzalez as center backs. You guys cool with that? Or you guys want to make an argument for Stairs or Dupuy?
I'm not arguing because
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So with those 4 guys, what we want to do with them when they're attacking us is just hold shape and read where the potential pass may be. And let's start out wide. Let's start off with Villafania and Julian Araujo. Do you guys think we those 2 guys as our starters can do that? And that just kind of like go for it.
I'll say it's all about discipline. I think you could teach any player. I think it could be anybody. It's just also all about discipline. If you're disciplined enough to hold that run instead of pushing out forward to press that ball and take a step back and read the play, I think anyone in these positions could be able to do this. Now, granted, for the sake of the pod, I think Julian is going to need a little bit much more discipline because he's a young player. Obviously, being young, you need to hold him back. You need to show it to him. You need to say, hey, not every play you have the energy, but not every play is a 50-50 ball you have to go out for. Sometimes you got to play smart. You got to take a step back and you have to read the play in order to make sometimes you just have to wait 2 seconds. You're saving energy and you're winning the ball. So out of those 2, I think Julian might need a little bit more, and not because he's not talented, but just because he's young. You being young, you having all the energy you always wanted to push up could also be a negative.
I got to say, this is probably this is the time I agree with you the most out of all the podcasts we've done together. I think this is the one time I think you're really on point with this. Angel, you have anything to add to that, or you got something you don't believe in that? Where you at with this?
I agree with George actually, because Julian proved last year he can be reckless. So I'm with George 100%. And think about it, Villafania's on the older side, right? So I don't expect him to be pushing up so much. I expect him to be the smarter guy, at least defensively. I'm saying smarter than I don't know. I mean, an older, smarter defensive left back.
No, I agree, and the thing is that right because
George hit it.
Yeah, because it's that right because Biafania comes with experience, MLS outside MLS cups and one chips, so he comes with that experience. I think he's good. Derek Williams, he's played it big cups. When he played it in the championship, he played it in EPL, even though it's just short stint. I think he comes with experience. People have the experience. I think the only one lacking in our back line right now, if that was our starting four in the back, would be Julian. So I think just kind of reeling him in, make sure that he's stays focused the whole time and doesn't lash out and go into those 50-50 challenges that George is talking about, getting that red card, getting a yellow card that kind of limits you what you can do, like all that. But I think you're right. And again, I think one of the big things that at least that I took from the article is that Vanny probably doesn't want you making a lot of tackles, right? Vanny wants you being smarter and intercepting the ball and stepping in front of a pass instead of you going into tackling, right? I should have kept it up, but there's a quote there by one. I think it was Maldini. Don't quote me on that, but it said if you're making a tackle, it's probably because you made a mistake. Right, so you're recovering from a mistake and trying to make a tackle. Interesting quote. But I
Maldini was daddy, bro.
But that's the thing, though, right? Like it's so far we're thinking our defense can at least potentially do this, right? Again, there's all potential because we don't even know who our starting four in the back is, or if it is starting four, but just potential. Let's go to the midfield. In the midfield we have Efrain Alvarez, Jonah Dos Santos, Granzer Samuel. Carlos Harvey, Sasha Kleshtin, Sebastian Leggett, Jonathan Perez, and Adam Saldana. Right, out of those, I think we're looking at Dos Santos definitely being in. I want to say Leggett as the CM pairing, with Granzer being all right, and I don't know who the fuck you have in the left, but you got to figure you have somebody, right? I'm assuming you have your Granzer going out and pressing along with the left winger, whoever that is, and Jonah and Leggett kind of sitting back and trying to pick out a pass that comes out from that press, right? From that, from the pressure, hopefully a sloppy pass that they can pick up on. So let's start with the CMs and potentially being Jonah and Leggett, if not Sasha. Can we do that? Can these two center mid pairing hold the line and just, have patience there and look to intercept a ball instead of like rushing out and trying to close down the mark and leaving gaps behind them?
I'm fully confident in that midfield. I think the only downfall, if we're picking someone out of those three, it's going to be Leggett. Sasha's veteran. I doubt he wants to make every run and go for each ball. Jonah is box to box, but we've seen him make these type of interceptions even when the philosophy is not there. So if I had to pick someone, it's going to be Leggett, and it's not something where we have to. He's young. It's not a Araujo case. I just think we just need to change his mentality a little bit.
Talking about the true CMs, though, right? Nothing about the wingers or anything like
that.
No,
right? Just CMs right now. Yeah.
Man, I think I'm going to go George again.
Keep going.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess if I really wanted to, I can probably make a case for Jonah. At least last year, Jonah. Right, but Jonah before that, he's Jonah. The problem is he's had his injuries. So we'll see. I mean, if he can recuperate what he was before prior to his injury, and then obviously the shit season he had last year and missing so many games, he can get that step back. And he's smart, right? He's probably the smartest center midfielder that we have. So I'm confident if he gets his game back, right? Of those three guys, legit, man.
I'm with you when it comes to Jonah, because I've been on this pod saying that when Jonah's on, he's the heartbeat of the team. I mean, he controls the tempo, whether he wants to speed it up, whether he wants to slow it down, whether it's a short pass or is finding people in space, he could do all that. Defensively, I think he's the same way though, right? Like, I remember him in was that Villarreal, right? Yeah. I remember him in Villarreal, and the way he just dominates that midfield because he knows where to stand, right? It's not that he's sprinting back and forth. He just knows the area where he needs to cover, where he potentially could get a ball and recover a ball from a bad pass or recover a ball from a long pass. I want to see that Jonah. Because if we see that Jonah, that's the same Jonah that will point out where you need to be at, right? He's calling you legit and saying, right there, He's calling Sasha, whoever fucking needs to call, and telling him where they need to be at. If we get that Jonah, I think that midfield set too.
But that's the thing, that if, right? If we don't get that Jonah, then legit, all last year, he's the one that carried us in that midfield, right?
Yeah.
We can say whatever we want about him, but he was the one that carried us.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's the thing though, right? Like, he is coming. Jonah is coming with a big energy this year. Right, he's been yapping a lot, like on socials, and anytime he gets a chance to be on camera, he's talking big game. So I want to see that. Like, what I mean, I can't say I'm confident because last year was such a letdown, but I want to see that Jonah. And when it comes to legit, listen, I seen him in the U.S. national team playing a little further back, just being a release valve for a lot of the team, that has more pace than he does, and it's a good look for him as well. So I think we could do it. Let's talk about the wingers and throw in Chicha there, right? Because right now, listen, I've been talking about maybe a 4-4-2 with a false nine, but we still have a lot of indication that says this might be a 4-3-3 again. So with that being said, you have a Samuel Granzer who we have not really seen, so we can't really talk about can he press or not, right? Like, that's not something that's showcased in the highlights. And we have Chicharito, who we know, right? A left winger who could be Pavon or could be somebody else. That's unsure. But let's talk about at least the one player we know. All right, we're assuming that Vanny's going to want Granzer if he's out and out starting right back or right mid, right wing, which I think he is. Like, we want him to press. But Chicharito is a question mark here. Do you think he could? Does he have the energy? Is it his game to press consistently every time, like, we turn over a ball or the defense comes out playing short?
I feel it's in him. For the 10% of the season that he actually cared when he was first doing it and when he wanted to be the voice, he was the high press for us. He was the one that was starting it off. And people could argue that was probably his lowest point in his career. So if he could do that, if there's a glimpse of that for me, then by all means, if you're this guy that's suddenly changed, you picked up your fitness, you care about your body, you're doing all that, then why not? It's we're not asking you to run for 90 minutes. We're not asking you to do a lot of things. It's just being smart, pressing when it's needed, and picking your battles. So I have full confidence in that being. Now, if it's a concept that's accepted with him, I hope so. I hope everything that he said on social media, I hope everything that he's been doing is a testament to what he wants to do. So if that's being the case, then he's not giving me a reason why it shouldn't work.
Hey, George, what you think?
Shit, George again, spot on. Yeah, listen, he's been saying it all because it's true. I mean, listen, the only person I guess that you could say is Zubak, right? We know he'll run nonstop, right? He'll do it. That's the thing. He runs like a headless chicken. Without idea, he just runs after the ball. Like George said, pick and choose your battles. You're not going to chase after every single ball. You're not. It's when do I make that run? And this is the type of shit that I do expect Shitty to do. I know I don't give him a lot of praise, his actual abilities, but at least, mentally, I believe he has high soccer IQ. I do believe. I don't doubt that one bit. So if that's the case, and if I do believe about you, and that is true about you, then yeah, you're going to pick the right moments. Obviously, you're not going to win them all. You're not going to get it all, but you're going to pick the right times to press and turn it over type of thing, right? They lose in the middle because you're pressing them. Not like the Zubak away. Otherwise, you're just going to rotate it every single time because they know you're going to come and chasing them. All you're going to do is pass it from one side to the other. Oh, look, Zubak sent me. Switch to the side. Right? So you don't want to do it. It's got to be smart. It's got to be smart.
And it has to be collective. It has to be collective because I saw lots of times last year when Chicha, for those 10 minutes that he want to step up, he'll chase, and then look up and realize that he's the only one chasing, right? And then you see his hands come up and do the shit and start, pointing at shit. So it has to be collective because I do, from last year we could tell that if it's not a team press, if it's not like the players that need to move with him and pressing up, if they're not moving with him, he's also quick to kind of throw his hands up and say, okay, I'm not doing it either. Right. Mm-hmm. So I believe it has to, I think he can do it. I just believe it has to be a unit moving together. It has to be like the attacking 3 or attacking 2, putting a press in and doing it correctly, right? Not just going up to press, like cutting the angles and looking for them to make a sloppy pass or just a bad pass to recover the ball quickly. So we said it there, right? Listen, my whole point was trying to figure out what's really, where do we need the next signing? Where do we really need the next signing, right? And let me just recap this for you guys.
It's easy.
Go for it.
Right now, it's that Pavon replacement. We don't have anybody on this side. I mean, we could, right? But Greg Vanny doesn't see it. He doesn't think so. I like Perez a lot, right? And Dunbar, if we want to talk about someone that can do that press, Dunbar got wheels, and he has here. He's shown it. Mm-hmm. But does Greg Vanny think that? I don't think so. I think Greg Vanny, that's why he said it. He was sold on Pavon. He wanted Pavon to come back. That was his thing. So he clearly doesn't have the same praises or the same. Well, I can't say that, right? I don't know what Greg Vanny's thinking, but at least indications show if Pavon doesn't work out, he wants to find that replacement for that left wing. And I get it. Look, Pavon, our best player, hands down. Well, was, right? Our best player. So if we talk about Dunbar, if we talk about Perez, right? These are two youngsters, right? And trying to come in, to replace this World Cup player that played in Boca, that had the skills, that was our best player. I mean, shit, we can even argue maybe if it wasn't for Zlatan, he probably would have been the MVP, right? Maybe. That's a whole different story.
Listen, the argument is there. The argument is there that he made a lot of those plays for Zlatan, right? So
exactly, that's what I said. But we're not. That's already like extra. I'm addressing that because it's bringing up the Perez situation and bringing up the Dunbar stuff. Like we're talking about players that can do that. I like Perez a lot. I hope they give him a chance. We'll see. We'll see it. So I think we're gonna go out and get a left wing, right, to replace Pavon, because I don't see Greg Vanny giving me the indications that he sees that in Perez and that he sees that in Dunbar.
Yeah, no, listen. So one of the things that Vanny had said to at least a supporter leadership is that, right? Is that he's excited to work with a speedy winger, right? I think he was referring to Pavon, but if Pavon is not available, I think that's the move, right? And here's the thing though, we've been talking about waiting until summer for Pavon and all that. I don't know if you do that, right? Because if we look at this in just what we had a conversation over the last 10 minutes or so, we need that second wing to press up with Chicharito and Samuel, right? Like that's a given. Because we look at the defense, we can see how defense could work. We look at the midfield, same thing, right? There's some variables there that are unknown right now, but in theory, we can see how that could work, right? And pretty clearly, when it comes to attacking three or just whoever's in charge of pressing higher up the pitch, pressing the defense, that's where you have questions, right? Because we said Chicha could do it, but he needs the support. He needs to make sure that that it's a unit that's pressing, is just not him. Question marks on Samuel just because we haven't seen it, but we assume that he could do it. We assume that it's just going up to put some pressure on defense, so he could do it. But who's the other wing back, and how committed is he? And we can't necessarily rely on what you're saying. We can't rely on Perez. We can't rely on who I'm missing here on Dunbar. Right, we can't necessarily rely on them because they are young, and as much as I like them, I mean, I like the Wilder, I like Wild too, right? Like I like them too, but how much can you really rely on them, right? And for a position of that importance, I think you might need somebody who has experience, who is going to come in and bring something different. So, George, do you agree with this on us having to?
It has to be about one replacement. I agree with what's being said. If we don't have him, then I think that that's our number one. It should be our number one focus, and then from there we keep going.
We have the chat talking about some of the players like Emma or Panyas. Which listen, Emma is a weird situation because I had mad love for him, but he wasn't that good. Panyas was good too, but Panyas was good too. But again, I think we need somebody who brings something different on that one.
Listen, if Pontius is really your thing, then let's bring back Sean Franklin. Let's bring back other players. No, we're moving in another direction, and I don't think that these type of players are in that direction, and we have to get off of that.
Yeah, listen, and I'm okay with some veteran leadership, right? But at that position, I think I want somebody new, somebody who's bringing something different, somebody young. Right, counter to Samuel Garcia, a straight up counter to him, right? And if it's Pavon, listen, that's exactly it. But if it's not Pavon, it has to be somebody with qualities that are quite similar to that, right? Because we're gonna need somebody. We're gonna need these white players to be creative and has some pace on him to create chances for Chicha, to create the chances that Chicha is known for, those tap-ins, those inside the box 1-2s and stuff like that. Like, we need those type of players. And honestly, I can't tell you a player from our past who's still active today that I say, that fit in right, that fit right in, other than Pavon.
And to answer the chat, fuck you, Chris. I never wanted AJ, so you could suck it back.
I would have taken AJ. I for sure never left, to be honest. And I always talk about that, but we've covered that in a long time. But yeah, I think we're all in agreement that it is that winger that needs to be brought in. Here's the thing: we had other shows where we talked about waiting until the summer for Pavon, waiting until the summer to bring in that DP signing, waiting for the summer to bring in that winger.
Wait, did we talk about Pavon though? With everything that came up recently?
Yeah, we've talked about Pavon. We've talked a lot about Pavon. You just haven't been here.
But did we say already, like, no, that's it? Call it quits already? Get over it and let's move on?
No, we talked about it slightly last week, but again, I don't want to keep on dragging this about one thing out until we know, like, for sure. I know last week we talked about, like, the statements that came out, the way he's officially charged, and his lawyers coming out and saying that that's what they were waiting for. It just saying, again, it's a mess. It's a novela that ran for too long and needs to come to an end one way or the other, so the G's know exactly what the fuck they're doing because of the situation we're in, right? Like, because of what we just talked. We need a winger, and we need to figure that out. But again, let me ask you this: is this a position you guys are willing to wait for? Is this a position you guys are willing to go up to the summer for?
If we have a cam up until that position, then yes. I don't think that we're okay enough to have a vacant left wing and a cam.
Angel, what's your thoughts?
Because then, and my bad. And to add to that, because we shitted on Chicha for so long, and if he's our top striker, there's still no connecting piece to that. So we're just gonna keep on shitting on him until the summer.
The issue is Galaxy fans, right? If we go through the summer, well, it's true. If we get to the summer and Chicharito's not having the best season, let's say he scored a few goals. Let's say Grant Zerk can't do everything by himself, right? Listen, we're talking about a Pavon replacement, the best player in that fucking squad. That's massive. Galaxy fans don't understand that. People are like, oh, I thought we brought Greg Vanny to win. We don't. If we're not in first place, it's a big fucking issue. Look, rightfully so, right? We shouldn't even be in the situation. I get that. We are in the situation. It's understanding, hey, we have a new coach, still bringing pieces and what seems to be the right pieces. He's building from the back. He started from the back. Right? We already have our quote-unquote star striker. Just missing that additional piece that we've said even from last year when we had Pavon that we needed somebody on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now Pavon's gone. We got the guy on the opposite side, so now we need Pavon again, or the Pavon replacement. So that's still not changing. So it's you understand, like, hey, if we're gonna wait until the summer for Pavon or whatever happens, Galaxy fans in general need to calm the fuck down with whatever happens, because we can be, let's say, for the sake of conversation, in the bottom.
So take it away. Take it away from the Galaxy fans. Hold on. Take it away from them. Take it away from them. Like, like, we can't control their opinions. Talk to me about how you feeling though. Like, is this something you want to do? Are you okay with waiting summer, or would you rather have it now?
I'm okay with waiting for the summer under the condition that we are not bringing Pavon back. We're waiting for the summer to see what's going to be available for us in the summer, understanding that the European market is over, right? And even when we talk about South America, right, it doesn't seem like we're going to South America. Otherwise, we would have had the rumors, coming out of there. It seems like we're coming out of Europe. And there's people out of the Euros. Someone might be a flash in the Euros, and come out of that. So if we call it quits with Pavon now, and Greg Vanny tells me, hey, I'm not going to get your guy right now. We're going to get someone in the summer. We're waiting for the summer. Listen, it's the Galaxy. We're going to bring somebody big. I'm going to wait. I understand. I get what they're going to be doing. Not only from the perspective, from the marketing perspective, right? But again, under the condition they tell me now, it's not for Pavon, is because we're going to wait to see what we can bring in to replace Pavon. I don't want to wait out for Pavon. No, I don't want to.
George, what's your take on this?
if we're not able to sign any of the two, then I think we all need to be patient. But a lot of me wants to say that it's not in good confidence if we start off this. I think if this is the path that we take, have a chat with Chicharito, because he's someone that we need to produce. And if we're saying, hey, we don't have this right now, we understand you. We get it. This is the best of what we're trying to do. Now, if we throw him out on an island and we don't have those connecting pieces, and Chicharito is kind of left to hear the wrath and hear everything, that does something to a player.
Yeah.
But as far as Angel saying that there needs to be transparency to the fans, I think that transparency first needs to start within the club and say, this is not happening right now. This is what we're working towards.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to go against both of you guys here. And I honestly believe we need to address the left wing position before season starts. Right? I'm not saying bring in a DP for this position. If that's, hold a DP for summer for who whatever we might need it at, whether it's a cap position or another winger who's at a higher level, whatever that is, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with holding the DP spot, but I'm not fine with starting season without a winger, without a true out and out winger to be the counterpart to someone against. Because as much as I like these kids that we have in the bench, I don't think they're there. Like, I don't want to take that gamble, right? Like, a
question for you then: are you okay to not waste, but are you okay to use that international spot as a placeholder for a DP in the summer?
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair because we have a lot. And I was on the boat as same as you, but excuse me, to touch the Angels' point, if we wait, we need to be transparent. I think that we need to address either or before. I agree with you, not using a DP spot and not kind of going into it that quick. But if we don't, then I think we need to be transparent. Fuck the fans. I could care less. Be transparent to the people that you most need to impact, because you need to impact the players in order for the fans to be happy.
Yeah, yeah, man. And again, right? That's why I say, like, I think we need to bring him in. We need to bring in that winger like before season starts, because you have to build. Like, there's no way Vanny's job is complete or even any kind of resemblance of what it should be if you're working with a bandage left wing, right? If we're working with somebody who's not like necessarily what you're looking for in the left wing, but you don't have options. So I think you need to bring that in.
See, let me tell you why I didn't feel that way from the get-go is because of the tones that he shared it. And basically what you guys shared with us, right, of what he said. He's been focused on Pavon. That's his thing. It's not like he's talked about other positions, right? Where he says, "Oh, we have some." As he said that, "Hey, I have an eye. If Pavon doesn't work out, right, we have one or two targets that we're going to address." No, from what I've gathered, it's only been the right wing, right? Which is why I've been like, well, it sounds like they're going to wait to see what happens. That means we're going to wait until the summer. So that's where I'm thinking. I'm not thinking about. I don't think that he's thinking in the now. If that's the case, of course, get rid of Pavon right now, and it doesn't have to be fucking DP. You can go get another Grand Sir on TAM. That's fine. But I'm just saying, based on the tones that they've shared, at least that I've gathered, and this is my perception, right? If that's not the case, if you sound a little bit different, I'm all ears, baby. Again, from what I've gathered is Pavon is eggs are in that basket. If they don't work out, what do we do? That's how I've taken it.
Well, so I'll say this much, right? Because I can't confirm nor deny like that. I can't confirm nor deny like whether what he was saying was truthfully transparent or just because he couldn't confirm that he wanted Pavon like out or out, right? But he did say like his wingers, he's looking to work with wingers who have pace and have the creativity, right? With that being said, like I understand that maybe his thoughts were like, let's go with Pavon, but he knows what he wants for a winger, right? And what you want for a winger. The scope is there for you to look for what you're looking for. And let me just address the chat real quick. Manny says complete. He just started. No, and yes, by all means. I didn't mean like complete as like the whole thing, the way the guys are playing. But I'm saying he can't even complete like his theory because he doesn't have a wing, right? Like there's no way for him to really express to a team what he needs when he doesn't have the players he needs to do that. That's what I meant by
the philosophy. You can't do that if you don't have the players that you need.
Yeah, that's what I say. And again, listen, my opinion is that I think we need to address it whether that's and I think it's still going to be long term, right? Because you have the backup there, but you need to address it this before the season starts. Bringing in a winger to kind of complete at least the shape of the team to jump off the season. That's my thoughts on that. Again, interesting talk. It's not really anything conclusive, just because we still don't know what this roster looks like for the beginning of the season. We still don't know if we have some other releases, or we have who we're bringing in, or any of that. So it's still very, very, very early on. It doesn't feel that way, but it's still very early on when it comes to like the roster and seeing the Galaxy play at all, right? Because we haven't even seen them play. We haven't even seen what formation Vanny's potentially throwing out right now. We haven't even seen who he's using as left left wing for the preseason game. So I think we'll get some more answers in the next couple of weeks. Actually, Saturday, right? Saturday we have the first preseason game versus San Diego Loyals behind closed doors. Yeah. So hopefully we have a little more information. At least we know about that one. So hopefully we get a little more information on who played and where they played. Maybe some highlights or something like that, so we can kind of feed off of it and talk about. But for now, that's what we have. Again, big shout out to CRG for putting that analysis together and giving us something to talk about. George, did we get questions today?
Yep.
Oh, let's get into those and let's wrap this bitch up.
All right. So we start off with G-Man that says Jonathan was named captain at the beginning of last season. Who do you think Greg would choose to become the team captain, and who would you prefer to see become the team captain?
Can I go there? Can I take this on first?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
take a swing.
Take a swing.
I'm sticking with Jonah. Jonah's been like, again, he had that energy this whole time. He's been on the press talking about a chip this year. So if he really feels that way, man, give them in the band and let us lead us. Let him lead us there.
So, right? Question: is this who you want, or is this who you think, or both?
Both. Like, again, okay. I really like Jonah as a player. Right? I really like Jonah as a player, like from before he was a Galaxy player. Unfortunately, last couple seasons haven't been his greatest, but yeah, I fucks with him.
My answer is simple. I want Jonah is going to be Chicha.
Chicha, huh? He has a lot to prove.
Doesn't have a lot to prove to Vanny. Vanny's coming in fresh.
No, I'm saying like he has a chip in his shoulder. So that's what I think is a good idea, right? Like, you have a chip in your shoulder, you want to make sure you're gonna bring the energy. Angel.
I'm with Rudy.
Nice. All right. Glenn wants to know. G's brought it up on social, so let's have it. What's your favorite Galaxy rainy day experience? Easy. MLS Cup. 2011. Was that when it rained?
11. Yep.
Yeah.
11,
yeah, those are all dope. Those, yeah, I'm gonna go with that one too.
Remember the mud afterwards in the Tugget area?
Yeah, the mudslide.
Yep. Yep, I do remember that.
Remember Tiny?
The wing stop after. Yeah. Tiny was a surfboard.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Home openers in the rain have been fun too.
Yeah.
You remember that? Was it last year or the year before that when we did the Tifo under the rain?
And the paint was off before that. That shit was fucking pouring when we put it in there. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah.
3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yikes! Really?
3 years ago.
It's funny because that day my whole intention was to stay at the stadium, help out Tifo, and just kind of stay around, or like George, were you out here already? Were you out there in Torrance already?
Oh yeah.
So like I know I was gonna hang out with one of you guys until game time, but that like all the paint started falling off, and I ended up with like pants, shirt, hat full of paint. I was like, fuck this, I gotta go home. I ended up coming home and going back. So yeah, man, I don't mind rainy days. Rainy days are fun, far in between, so I don't mind them.
All right. Danger TRO has 3 questions. Thoughts on Mauricio Sanfuegos no longer working for the academy? Should he be the next statue?
Yeah,
I don't know much about the academy and if it was mutual, if it was his or it was the G's decision. I really can't comment much on that, but should he be the next statue? He should be a statue. I don't know about next statue. I can't really say it, but yeah, he definitely should be a statue.
Here in Angel, maybe you remember, or you could back me up here, but I could have swore there was talks about him being the next statue. Like I'm not sure if not, and I'm not even sure we could talk about it. But I remember.
No, he's not the next statue. We addressed that in a meeting with the front office.
Oh, okay, that's what happened.
I didn't know the next statue. Yeah.
But yeah, like to me that was weird. I think Ant is the one that brought it up to us recently, and I was like, oh shit, like that's right. Like I haven't heard from him, and I didn't realize that he was no longer like in some capacity part of the club, which sucks because that's one of the figures that I would want to have always around the club, no matter what. Like he's straight up, I want him and Raul to always be around the club.
Yeah,
one way or the other. You know what I mean? So like when I realized that, I was tripping.
I have an idea of maybe why he's no longer around. Because it seems like it was recent, right? That he's been gone recently. It's been very recent, right?
I don't. Yeah, it has to be. It feels that way, but I'm not sure.
Chris and I were one time we went up to the lounge on the top, right? You know what's it called in the top?
Yeah.
I forget what they call it. Yeah, the one on the top, right? Yeah. So we went there after a game. I was with Chris, his brother, and when your Fuegos came out, Kobe Jones came out, Joe Totino were out there, and we were just talking to him. And I don't remember how our conversation got into that type of topic with Manchester Fuegos, about being in the academy and has he ever wanted more? He straight up told me, he said they're racist to him, and he wants more. He's been explicit that he's wanted more. Like he wanted some type of actual coaching job for the first team. Like, he said certain things. No, I don't want to keep adding to what he said. But I was like, damn, like if what he said is true, that's fucked up.
¿Cuántas reyes se había tomado?
Right?
¿Cuántas reyes se había tomado?
I didn't want to touch that subject at all. That's why I kind of left it. But I mean, look at all the Central Americans that have been a part of the Galaxy that have been huge. CR has a lot to say about the Galaxy. Cienfuegos, I'm sure, is along that boat. I'm sure there's a lot. Listen, yeah. So I mean, I don't want to get into it because that's a different shit on its own. But I mean, look at the pattern.
Yeah, and that's
George is spot on. Yeah,
and it's weird because those that's coming out of like personal conversation. They've never been in a public platform. So again, I never had one conversation, so I'm not aware of them other than from what I heard from you guys. But it's fucked up, right? Because those guys are listen. You paying homage to the jersey. Like, there's no way you could pay homage to these jerseys without paying homage to the players who really stood out in these jerseys, and that by no means like Cienfuegos is an everybody's list. By no means that's immense in there, right? So it's fucked up. It's fucked up that he's not around the club. I hope they rectify that in some way and have him back in the club, because again, he's one of the people I always want to see associated with the club. And I hold him up highest. You know what I mean? So sure.
He's also Salvadoran like me, so he probably was either one drunk or exaggerating as fuck. So who knows if he's saying the truth or not? So who knows?
All right. Next question is DTK using his connections in Mexico to help out our team. Shit, I hope so.
Maybe it hasn't been apparent. But he did come in saying he had connections in Mexico, but also across the world because of the time he worked in Mexico, right?
It's also on the coach. I mean, if Greg Vanney's not looking towards Mexico, who are you to say, hey, there's this player? You're not coaching the team.
No. But listen, what at least the way I interpreted all my conversations with Vanney is that he doesn't necessarily have, or he didn't come in with names. He came in with features that he needed in the positions that he wanted to fill and the players he wanted to bring. So I do believe that DGK has a lot of influence on the players that get presented to Vanney, right? Because he does, he's talked about his knowledge and his connections and the way he sees different young players. So maybe not Mexico, but I don't think it's because they're trying to avoid Mexico. It's just maybe partly because the Mexican league doesn't have what they're looking for right now.
All right.
But that's
next question.
Chat really quick. Have you guys been watching the Mexican league lately?
I saw America fuck up Chivas yesterday.
Let's go.
Games have gone down, and I don't know what it is. It's not as fun and entertaining to watch as it used to be. So maybe that has something to do. The quality is just not what it used to be. And I don't know if they were also impacted by COVID, that they couldn't bring the players they wanted, or they had to sell, or what the deal is. But quite frankly, this hasn't been as exciting. And I love Tigres, bro. That's supposed to be the better team to watch. But even watching them has been boring lately. It's like, shit. Imagine that the team that's one of the teams spending the most money has this quote unquote badass team. They're boring to watch. I'm the fan. So
It probably wasn't you, but I just had the conversation not too long ago that I said like the Mexican league without fans has really suffered because the games have not, they have not been the same. And I thought it was maybe the fans, right? Like like the ambiente wasn't there. But you're right. Like I have not enjoyed Liga MX since the COVID shit happened. So you might be saying that. No.
All right, next question. Who is Jonah's backup when Jonah gets called up to Mexico? I think we talked about it. Wasn't it Harvey that we want? Yeah, Harvey to be it.
I think that's the position we have some good coverage, right? Because straight off the bat, you have Sasha, right? Sasha legit because I don't think you both see the field same time. So you have Sasha, you have Harvey, who may be a little unproven, but what we saw from him, the little we saw from last year, seemed promising. So I'm excited to see that. And then we have some of the kids too who could step in and see if they get their shot there. So I think that spot I'm not necessarily too concerned about.
All right. Last question. Do you think the Galaxy will finally bring in a backup striker, or will they use Zubak or Augie this season? I think it's going to be Augie.
Yep. Yeah. If the answer is Augie, I'm not mad.
I know. I mean, everyone's been wanting him for such a long time. I hope he shows out. To be honest with you.
I mean, listen, whether it shows out or not, like the kid is raw talent, right? So maybe he's not, maybe he's not the star striker, but if he comes in as a sub role for whether that be fitness or an injury, is a better look than Subak because Subak is not raw talent. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. That was it, boys.
Oh, that dope. Let me sign off by saying a couple of things. Patches are out. I've seen a bunch of them on socials.
Got mine today. Hell yeah.
Dope. There is a link to a YouTube video on the product page, but we will be sending out some emails with the video link and a GIF. So in case you don't necessarily know how to apply it, the video's there to kind of show you how it's done. It's a pretty easy process. They look really nice. I've seen Jesse's jersey. Man, they're nice. They look really nice on jersey. So big shout out to everybody who hopped on and bought that. Like we sold quite a bit amount, and it fucks with you so much. Understand that every time we put out a product, it's money that goes right back to ACB, right back into the TIFOs, right back into the tailgates, hopefully tailgates, and it goes right back into ACB. So I really, really appreciate you guys fucking with us and buying stuff out. We do have some news coming out for another happy hour, and some other stuff coming out pretty soon. More pressing though. This Saturday there is an equipment sale going on at the stadium. The Galaxians are hosting a charity event, a donation drive, benefiting the foster care youth. They're looking to get new insulated water bottles, boxes of candies and snack packs, all of them brand new, still properly closed, and Uno card games, stuff like that. So check out their wish list. I think you still have time to check out the wish list. We'll retweet out that tweet right now. So check that out and help them out. Swing by, try to cop some equipment. I know people find some gems there sometimes. I unfortunately never have. Every time I show up, either have like extra small or 4XL, which I probably could rock, but not my swag. So check that out. That should be fun.
Good. Greeny shorts, it's good for shorts. Sure.
Yeah.
Like you'll definitely find plenty of shorts, soccer shorts. Yeah.
I bought some 3/4 ones in XL because I mean I could get away with XL pretty soon. Not 3/4 though, because 3/4 turned out to be like a priest. They're like way down there. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I can't rock these. So I think I ended up getting to Jesse or something like that. All right. You guys have anything else? Anything else? No.
Still can't believe it's not butter.
With that being said, it's another episode of Straight from the Stands. I'm boy Rudy, and I'm Smarts on Twitch. I'm Smarts on Twitter, and Smarts on the gram.
Jennifer does that understand gender.
To figure out if there's nowhere else.
What the fuck? JNTheFetus7 on Instagram and Twitter. ADF19. Fuck, I don't know. No, 31.
Damn, you know my birthday is just passed, bro. March 6th, 21. That's what it stands for. Damn.
Listen,